Who the fuck's excited for the event? Drop a fuck yes in the chat if you guys are excited. That actually brings me to the purpose of today's call because the reality of the situation is that like we only have 25 tickets remaining for the event. So I'm actually not going to use this call to try to convince you to come to the event. Because if you haven't gotten a ticket for the event yet, you're either baked, insane, or you're just allergic to money. So what I would love to do is the people that have already purchased, if you have already purchased a ticket to the event, type a one in the chat. What I would love to do is I would love to get you guys excited for what you guys are actually going to learn at this experience, what you guys are going to learn at this event. And so we've actually asked some of the guest speakers who are all absolute fucking legends in their own regard to come on and drop a little bit of insight as to who they are as people. There's a reason, like those of you guys that have been with Peak Denomination know that like we vet people before they come into the program because frankly, Cole and I are leaders by example. And so I'm not going to bring in any donkeys for you guys to learn from, if they're not killing it, they can't teach my fucking fam. And so they've been thoroughly vetted. And so we're going to go through my peeps here that we've invited. We're going to start out with a guy with a gigantic beard. So Danny, what's going on, big dog? Let's talk some shit with Danny.
What's up, bro? Let's talk some shit. What's up, guys? Good to see everybody. Let's get it.
Let's start at the beginning because if you guys don't know, all right, he worked for probably the most intense, amped up, excited sales force on the fucking internet. But who are you? All right. What role do you play? Like, how long have you been with the fucking Elliott Group?
So I've been with Andy for almost, it'll be 6 years. And I was training with him since I was 20.
How old are you now?
27.
So you are 27. You started with them when you were fucking 20 years old, bro. All right.
Yep.
How many sales experience did you have when you started?
Fuck, dude. I was selling since I was in 5th grade. Dude, I grew up, like, I don't know if you want me to go on the whole story or what, but like,
I think we learned a little bit about you. We want to know about you 100%.
Like, dude, I grew up just like knocking doors, mowing lawns, flipping sneakers. So it's like, when people ask me like, how long you been selling? It's like, dude, I sold out of necessity my whole life. Grew up on food stamps, like in a 600 square foot apartment, divorced parents, like the whole shit show. You know what I mean? So besides that, I sold cars for a year and a half, and then I've been with Andy ever since. But like sales to me is like the way out. Like to anybody that's just trying to figure it out and get started and get to that first 10, 20, 30K a month, dude, sales is your avenue, like period.
Yeah. So Danny, what I would love to know is because like the identity that you've like stepped into, because you're 27 years old and now Andy is now business partners with you on some of the ventures that you guys are going into. So can you talk a little bit about the man that you had to like, who the fuck were you when you first got into this? Like, Give me some of the demons and some of the struggles that you were going through at first, because there's a lot of people on this call that struggle with stepping into that identity.
Go in depth, bro. Feel free to share. We want to know who you are.
Yeah, that's good. So, dude, I remember when I dropped out initially of college. So I dropped out of college and I got into selling cars, right? So I'm selling cars. I thought I was going to kick some ass. My buddy showed me a $20,000 paycheck. So I thought I was going to do the same thing. A few months passes by. I'm about to get fired. COVID hits. I had sold 6 cars. I got a $200 commission check. And I was like, dude, I'm not going back. I'm not going back to college. I'm not going back to a salary job. I'm watching guys just ride around in nice whips. And I'm just like, dude, I know my identity is that of somebody who's deserving of these things, but I had a gap in my skill set. So I went on YouTube, watched a few videos, ended up flying out. And this is what's crazy, like the transformation that I had. And it's crazy how much an identity shift can actually change everything for you. I had 2 cars out on the 10th of the month. And if anybody knows, like selling cars, like it means you're tracking like 6 cars. It's not a commission check. I fly out for a weekend, ended up coming back and selling 20 cars, selling 2 or 3 cars a day at 19 years old in a dealership full of 50 people, became the #1 sales guy. But I ended up taking home like a $15,000 take home check the very next month before getting a $200 commission check, because I just decided to invest in myself and match my actions with just my identity. And so a lot of people, when I first had that shift, they're like, what did you learn? What happened? Like, what are you doing to close these deals? And I honestly couldn't answer it until I sat back and reflect and just realized that I started working differently, thinking differently, speaking differently. And guess what? All of the things that I was learning how to say, like how to close and all of the cute little tactics that you see. And it's funny because like I'm a sales coach, I get it. But at the same time too, if you don't have that shift to believe that you are this person, you're going to act in direct accordance with who you believe that you are and you're becoming. And so, yeah, dude, I went from doing that to becoming like one of the top Toyota guys in the state of Virginia. And then about a year and a half later, my dad passed away. He drowned in a pool in a crazy accident. I sent him, it's funny, I pulled this up because I was thinking about just some things in my story and you guys will get to see this. But I sent him this text, and this was another opportunity for me to have an identity shift. There's a few key moments that you'll have throughout your entire life that you have to hold on and anchor. And so I sent him this text. I won't go through the whole thing, But I said, I love you so much. I miss you. I'm so happy for you. I want to make a promise to you, and I want you to watch what I do these next couple years and what I do for our last name. And I sat on my kitchen floor crying, and I sent this text, and I was like, it's time to go on a fucking run. And that's when I got the opportunity with Andy. And so literally 30 days later, after my dad passed away, sold everything, moved out here, because I just decided again in that moment that I was going to become somebody else. And so, yeah, I made more money. I went from making 100 grand to 300 grand, $500,000. I literally went to making $500,000 in 3 years from selling cars at 23 years old. Completely just life changing. But it really wasn't about all of the sales skill that I learned. It was just because I had such a high accountability to the goals and the person that I wanted to become. And some people think like, oh, it's your why, it's your purpose. They think it's a bunch of bullshit, but I watch people, honestly, I really don't think I'm the best sales trainer. I don't think I'm the best anything. I just think I execute more and I have a high belief system in myself. And people that can take massive amounts of action without like understanding what the steps are people that become massively successful. And so fast forward the next couple years, have just kind of worked my way up, built a reputation for myself on just being myself, grew up a skater kid and kind of hold true to just being authentic, being kind of a dumbass, but also still being highly skilled and caring about people. And I think Cole and Brian connect with me on that. And so again, I think the last pillar, to toss it back to you, Cole, is I was telling Andy a few years ago on the beach, I said, dude, I think we're playing small. And at this point, we were doing around $4 million a month in revenue. And he looked at me a little confused, and I could tell, I was like, okay, this is my opportunity to also change his mindset. I said, I think there's some companies that we could partner with and do some really big things. So I started thinking, started researching, ended up partnering with a software company that will be life-changing to me, Andy, and our entire company when things play out, just because I started thinking differently at 26 years old. That I did our first acquisition, and everyone thought I was stupid and wasting my time. But again, it's just another thing of what you believe, what you study, how you act, how you move is what you will receive in the universe as long as you back it with action.
So I got one more question for you, and then I wanted to tell them what they're going to learn from you. There's a lot of people that come into sales and they like just get fucking eaten alive. It's like they come into sales and they just get stomped. It's like I feel like sales is one of those vehicles that like everybody wants to get into, but the reality situation is it's like there's some people that have the fucking skin and some people that don't. What do you think has been one of the things that's allowed you to not only like thrive in the area of sales, but become one of the top guys at a major company that's doing 9 figures?
I got 2 things. The first thing I would tell you is no matter what, I don't care what age you are, how much experience you have to dedicate 1 year to getting good at sales. Like you have to dedicate yourself to work night and day to get good at this game. If you're taking, and by the way, like no one wants to hear this. When I started selling cars, I said, I don't want to sell cars forever. Like I didn't like the life that they had. So I said, I'm going to just go balls to the wall for 1 year to just max out. So that's the first thing.
What does maxing out look like for you?
So
because you say dedicate 1 year to study sales. So like people on this call here, like, cool. So 30 minutes a day.
It's a good question. I want to give you a good answer on that. When I say maxing out, obviously hard work comes with that, like you having to put in the hours and the time. But I think a lot of people, they repeat the same patterns. Like they repeat the same loop. They don't watch their sales calls back. I want everybody to just write down the word awareness. I don't know why people, they come into this game of sales and business and life and they're like, I don't know why it's not working. I'm like, but if you really wanted to, like you could self-reflect and watch your Zoom call back and audit it. You could find the money and be like, hey, I want you to rip my sales call apart and figure it out. When I had Cole came down, I said, dude, I want you to rip my social media apart because I couldn't figure it out. He ripped it apart. And so it's like, if you don't know and you can't self-reflect, then you got to find someone that is going to hold you accountable, because you can either feel good about what you're doing or, you can get the result. So I'll tell you, just 1 year of studying, self-reflecting, it's really just being honest with yourself. Like I think you need to know yourself better than anybody. And that's the hardest thing, because you may think that you're good at something until you see someone better. And then you're like, oh shit. So 1 year. And then what was the original question, Brian? I'll just yap all day long.
As the mastery, it's like, what is the reason that you stood out and you've become a shark in an industry where everybody gets eaten alive?
See, the thing is like, I still feel like I'm getting started. Like I still feel like, I think that is the key itself. I really don't feel like I'm a shark in the industry. I believe I'm a guy, but I just, every single day, I'm looking for the answers. I think rich people like have none of the answers and broke people have all the answers. Get on a call with somebody and they're like, oh yeah, I know that. Yeah. But I'm like, but you don't know because you haven't internalized and you're not executing differently. There's a difference between knowing and acting. And so I really think like it's the mindset itself of feeling like you're still in the very beginning phases and being a student. Like there's one thing to be like humble in the moment to learn. I want someone to rip me to pieces because my goal is to get ahead, not to feel good and feel like, oh, Danny's the big shot. Danny's this. I understand where I'm at and where I'm going, but I don't have any pride to be like, oh yeah, I'm the best. Because the minute that you start thinking that you're somebody, you actually create a block in your mind to receive some information or things that would have gotten you to the next level. And what happens is you start backsliding. And what happens is you literally you stop doing the things in the very beginning, that Shoshin beginner's mindset.
Yeah.
I could lose it all in a year or two. Like if for anybody that's like, oh, this is great. I've seen people fall off. I've been in this industry for 6-7 years. Like I've watched people come up and just fall off for one simple reason. Number one, they just stop showing up. But number two, they start to think they're hot shit. And by the way, you got to believe in yourself, but they stop receiving like new advice.
Yeah, dude, I think that's fucking so imperative.
Yeah.
I like the beginner's mind is like something that like, dude, I still have that to this day. It's like, no matter how successful I am, I'm always like, somebody has a fucking skill set that's more valuable than mine. It's like, dude, that's why I fucking hired, where the fuck's Austin at? Austin Medley.
Dude.
That's why I hired you. Because I'm like, I wanted to fucking learn. You know, I'm like, I'm good at sales. And then I got on a call with Austin to like talk about placing closers. And I was like, oh, this guy's real good. And I was like, you want to fucking coach me? You got to have a beginner's mind, dude.
Dude, I'll end with this. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, even as like I'll have days where I feel like I'm not grateful, right? Everybody have those days? And then I'll have some 18-year-old kid text me and he's like, dude, can we jump on a call? And I'm like, dude, I know this kid doesn't have the money for the program. And I take the call because I'm always and I take the call and he's like, dude, thank you so much. And it's like, boom, I'm looking for the gratitude. I'm like, he's got so much gratitude. Why is my mindset off? Because I'm always trying to find the things that I'm lacking in that moment. And it sounds super dumb and simple, but like I'm telling you, the people that get this, you're just hyper aware of how you move.
Drop some love in the chat for Danny. Who's excited to see Danny at the event?
Let's go. Appreciate you guys. Super.
Such a humble way to say you're killing it, but you're like also just very humble in your spot. This motherfucker is absolutely slapping right now, guys. All right, I'll brag a little bit for him. Kid's making an astronomical amount of money, leading one of the biggest sales teams in the fucking industry. And at the age that you are, I'm proud of you, bro. Very fucking proud of you. Good job.
Love you, man. Appreciate that.
Excited to see you there. Go ahead, B.
Yeah, so the Danny speech that I'm looking for, just so you guys know, is like Danny's own identity. Because Danny is like 27 years old, leading one of the fucking biggest sales teams, you know, in terms of revenue, you know, in the USA. Like they're doing 9 figures. That's not a fucking small feat. If you guys have ever seen these guys speak, it's fucking it's pretty intense, you know, when these guys all get going. So the energy to be a leader of that type of organization, there's a certain type of identity that you need to step into to own that. So Danny's on identity. And let's move on to our next fucking guest, his name starts with a D, ends with an Ugg Clark. You guys might know him as Doug Clark. What's going on, Doug? How you doing?
What up? How's it going?
How's my boy?
Good. Living the dream.
So a lot of people so I want to give a little bit of a backstory on Doug, all right? And then I'll get you to share a little bit about yourself. So Doug's been with us now for, I believe, 4 years. When Doug first started with us, $0 online. He told me that he wanted to hit his first 10K month. He didn't know, I didn't know why. The first time Doug ever hit $10,000 a month, he FaceTime fucking Facebook Messenger called me over video. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then I answered it. And there's this dude in a baseball cap. Oh, why don't you give a bit of a backstory? Who are you?
Yeah, I honestly started off as like most people here. Like when I started PT Dom, I had 0 clients, 0 experience, $0 made online, 0 experience in sales, nothing. And yeah, I joined PT Dom and, you know, fast forward 4 years later and we're here. I remember when I called you because I didn't know, like I was new to PT Dom. I didn't really know you're, you know, Brian Mark. And I sent you the message you answered. I was so fired up. It was hit 10K for the first time. And I was so excited. It was awesome. And then, yeah, hit the ground running, quit my job a couple of months later. And here we are.
So there's a lot of people on the call that resonate with they have a family. So tell me a little bit about your family. I want to know a little bit about your family life.
Yeah. So the reason I got started in this whole thing, and I know a lot of people maybe know already, but is because of my mom. So I grew up an athlete, you know, played baseball, played college baseball, pretty in shape. And then I got my personal training certificate because I also coach baseball players. So I wanted to help athletes. That's literally why I became a personal trainer. And so I got my personal training certificate. And then right after I got my personal training certificate, my mom passed away. And every time I talk about it, my mom passed away 10 days after my son was born. You know, I watched her struggle with her weight and her health for my whole life. She gave everything to us. Like she gave me everything that I ever needed, ever wanted. Everybody, she just did what most moms do. And I watched her do that for my whole life. And then it caught up to her. after that happened was like the timing was perfect because I found you guys like right as that happened. And I was talking to Cole and he was selling me in the DMs. And then and like it didn't go anywhere. And then I went to my mom's funeral and then the next day I came back and I was like, I'm in.
Mm.
And then I signed up and hit the ground running. Here we are. And
You did that with a newborn baby as well.
yeah, brand new. Like my mom passed away 10 days after my son was born. So I had a full-time job. I had a newborn. My mom just passed away and I just gave you guys my money to start something I had no experience in whatsoever. Like completely blind. I had no idea what to expect. Like I had no idea. I thought I'd be slinging like PDF workouts. I didn't know how to be getting on calls. I didn't know how to like I didn't know anything about like I went in completely blind. And yeah, I just came in and did the work and here we are. And yeah.
Mm.
I get to
What?
freaking join the stage with these dudes. Like I feel so like I'm just a normal dude, just like anybody else here. And it's just like it's crazy.
So now I'm going to let you do a humble brag. What's your record-breaking month as an online fitness coach?
100K, 101K is my record month, so.
$101,000. So Doug went from making $0 online to $101,000 a month as an online fitness coach. He did that in 4 years. And by the way, Doug also claimed it. Doug's been coming to all of the events that we host, basically all of them. Elite Mansion Mastermind. He's been to every single
All
PT
of them.
Domination event. I believe every single one, correct?
Yeah, except for when
Yeah.
you went to Australia. So
Right.
but
That was a little bit of it's a little bit of a wild one. But Doug's been at every single event. And I remember he came up to me and he's like, I'm gonna hit $100,000 a month. And it's not that I didn't believe him. It's just that I've had a lot of people say that to me before.
So many motherfuckers say
I'm
that
gonna
shit.
hit 100K. Yeah, I'm gonna hit 100K. I'm like, okay, sure you will, But Doug took it seriously. He committed to the path. He committed to the growth, and now he's hitting 100K. So, Doug, what value are you bringing to the stage, and how are you going to help these kids? Because I know that you've been through all stages of the business now. You were at 0. You had no idea what the fuck you were doing. You built the business that was doing 10 to 15, built the business that was doing 20 to 30. Now you built the business that's doing 100. So like, what are you going to teach these kids that's going to help them get to the next level?
Yeah, first off, I'm just gonna show you guys that like literally anything is possible. Like even now, like I'm just like getting started. Like and from where I am 4 years ago to where I am now, to like think about where I'm gonna be in 4 years. When I started off as like an absolute nobody with no like where a lot of people are now, I'm gonna show you guys it's possible. You do that first of all by coming to the events because like I never miss an event for that reason. You put yourself in the room. You surround yourself with freaking sharks. Like you're gonna level up. It's just you put yourself in the room, you're gonna level up. But basically, what I'm gonna just talk about is like how to separate yourself from everybody else. Because like there's people here who are in way better shape than me. Like they're like everybody more social media followers. Like I started with 400. Like not only that, no dollars, I had no experience. I had 400 followers, and it was all my family and my friends. So like I'm just gonna try to just show you guys like how to separate yourself from everybody else out there. And it's just yeah, don't want to give away too many secrets, but that's basically what I'm going to do and to show you guys that like honestly like anything is possible for anybody that's here. Like even like Danny and like Austin, like everybody here was like nobody when they started. And now you're like looking up to them and I'm sure like they feel the same way as I do. It's like they're just getting started too. And for you guys who are at, 0 or $1,000 or $2,000, like that's just the beginning. As long as you guys keep showing up, coming to the events and like doing the work, literally anything is possible. Like anything. And you just got to claim it. You got to show up.
Doug, I have a question for you. Knowing that all of the information was already available online for you, what made the difference? Like, because like for you to come to the event, now you have 2 babies now, not 1, you have 2,
Yeah.
and you still come to every single fucking event. So why is it such a priority for you in your life that you're willing to move everything in your fucking life to attend these events when all the information's already online?
You're just going to leave as a better version of yourself in both like your personal life, in your business. You're going to meet new people that are going to just trigger something. Like you're going to learn a lot from me, from Danny, from Oz. You're going to learn a lot. But what you're going to find is those little conversations that you have in between the speakers, that something's going to trigger you. You're going to find something from somebody else that maybe it was unexpected. A conversation that you had with somebody who's kind of either where you're at or where you want to be, just little things like that you don't expect. You're going to learn a ton from the speakers. Like there's no doubt about that. But the conversation that you're going to have is like, you're going to find something that you weren't expecting to find. You're going to learn a lot of stuff, but you're just going to be forced to level up and you're going to leave a better coach, a better person. Your network's going to grow. It's just, everything.
I love it. All right, guys, drop some fire in the chat for fucking Douglas. Come on. Let him know. Let him know. Douglas claimed that he wanted to speak on our stages. He claimed that he claimed he wanted to step up. He claimed he wanted to be a leader. And we told him that he had to do something worth getting on the stage for. And then he hit $100,000 a month. And then he asked us again. And I was like, all right, bet. I was like, you hit 100K, you can do it now.
Yeah, I had a couple goals when I started, like hit 10K, then like, yeah, we hit 100K, and like back to like, I was like, oh, I want to speak on stage one day. And I was like, kind of put it off. And then I'm like, no, I'm doing it. And then even though I'm terrified, just so you guys know, to step on stage, I'm terrified. But I know I can do it and I'm going to do it. But you just got to claim it. You got to put it on your vision board. You know what you want to do. And you just put in the work and believe in yourself is the biggest thing.
Boom. Let's go. Light it up. All right. Our next guest, our next fucking rock star speaker. This dude actually sold me without actually trying to sell me. So the backstory of this is that, like, in the Millionaire Mastermind, the number one fucking problem that we have is that we get clients great results and then they end up having to have too many fucking leads, and then they're on all these sales calls. And because they're on all these fucking sales calls, it's like they get stressed out, burnt out, frustrated. And so we have to like find them closers. And so I was trying to solve this problem for my clients and like trying to find somebody that could help like place closers. And I was DMing like all the top sales coaches that I knew to see if anybody had somebody that could just like place closers for me. So I get on the call with this fucking dude. His name's Austin Medlin. And we start talking about like what I need for the company. And then he starts like ranting and it wasn't even ranting and raving. I got sold so subtly. It was like, he just slid right in there and fucking closed me. So long story short, Austin now has been coaching my sales team directly. Now he's been working with my closers now, I would say, for the last 6 to 8 months. His sales philosophy is very closely aligned with my sales philosophy. So it's just a perfect match and a perfect fit. He is one of the sales dudes that I trust deeply in the industry. Without further ado, no more rockstar intro. I'll let you introduce yourself. What the fuck is going on, Austin? How you doing, brother?
Dude, you got fucking sold on a call. We love to see it. We love to see you getting on a call needing one thing, because when you messaged me like, yo, can you do this for me? I was like, dude, 100%, knowing that I had zero capability of doing that for you, and then turned it into a sales call. So it was a lot of fun. But your closers, what did they add to the close rate? It was like 18 or 22%?
Yeah. So as I grew out the sales team and I got less involved, the closing percentage dropped significantly. So when I hired Austin, it was like 22 to 23%. And now on average, we're closing at 38 to 39%. So it's a significant difference since working with Austin.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's good. But yeah, for those of you guys who don't know me, I've been in the space since 2019. So I was like a high ticket closer when nobody, and I mean no fucking body, was calling themselves a high ticket closer. If people are like, what's your job? It's like, I'm a high ticket closer. And they're like, you're strange. That's kind of weird. So the first company I helped build, we built to 1.7 million per month, running 5,000 years in a row. I was their number one closer, and then eventually their head of sales. And then I got fired and built this company to $250,000 a month in 10 months. And then I got fired, and then I built that company to 550,000 a month in 14 months. And then I got fired, and I was like, I'm tired of being fired. My ego cannot take being fired one more time. But in those 4 years, I took 7,000 sales calls and closed over $7 million in cash. And I tracked all the data for 4 years in a row, and I averaged a 60% close rate on the icest cold of traffic that you can find. Like, we're talking like Antarctica ice fucking cold. So when people come to me and they're like, oh, I have a 30% close rate, it's pretty good. It's like, it's not good at all. Yeah, like if you were on my team and had a 30% close rate, I would fire you effective immediately. Like if it's not a 60%, I don't want it. Be like, well, that's industry average. It's like, do you want to be average? I don't think so. And so I tracked the data. And then when I got fired for the third time, I was like, I'll just do this for myself. So I started a one-on-one sales coaching program, very similar to what you guys do with fitness coaching. I was just teaching sales to business owners, and we went from 0 to $1 million a month, or 0 to $1 million in cash in 10 months. And then we hung out around like 200K for a long time, made a couple $1,000,000. That was fun. And then packaged up everything I know, and then turned it into a software company, and kind of made the pivot away from one-on-one coaching, and then took a $15,000 price point, turned it into a couple $100 a month. And then I've been doing that for the past couple of months.
Now, so like there's a lot of sales coaches in the industry, and there's a lot of people that talk shit. What makes your stuff different?
Yeah, because I actually took the fucking calls. Like I've actually sat on over 7,000 sales calls, and I have the stats and the data to back it up. Where if you look at somebody like, I don't know, Shelby Sapp, great business owner, fantastic, makes a couple $1,000,000 a month. She just never took a high ticket sales call. There's nothing wrong with her, nothing wrong with that. I just asked myself the question, who do I want to learn from? I want to learn from somebody who's actually done the work. And I sat in front of humans from all over the world for over 7,000 hours of my life, rich people, poor people, tall people, short people, literally everyone you can imagine from all over the world. And I learned how the thread of human psychology works internationally, cross-border, old, young, rich, poor, didn't matter. I figured out and cracked the code of psychology and sales. And then now I teach that thread of psychology so you can one call close at 60%. And when people come to me and say, well, my leads aren't that good. Yeah, probably not, but I still would have closed them. Well, my leads have no money. Well, I still would have closed them. So your leads might not be the best, but you should still know how to close those people.
When you say ice cold traffic, because like I feel like people get spoiled because social media leads are fucking easy. Austin, what does ice cold traffic mean to you? When you say ice cold traffic, what does that mean?
So for this company that we built to 550,000 per month, we were sending cold email. And the email basically just said, if you're a career coach looking to generate leads, book a call, was like the essence of this very short, direct call to action email. And then people would book a call. And after they booked the call, we would send them one video. And the video was about an hour long. The problem with the video, the CEO of that company talked so ridiculously fast that anybody who watched the video, was probably like 50% of the people, they fucking hated the video. Like they would get on the sales call like pissed off and they're like, hey, you sent me this video, but you sent it to me in 2x speed. I couldn't understand anything that was going on. Why did you do that? And then I had to say, oh, that wasn't in 2x speed. That's just how fast she talks. And then they would say, like, is she the one teaching? Like, I have to learn from her because I can't understand what she's saying. Was how 50% of the sales calls started. So they were almost worse than cold. Like they were already pissed off. And I didn't even have a chance to build rapport. Like that was my rapport. And I was one call closing those people for $9,800, almost all of it paid in full, 60% of the time. And then the other 50% of the people who literally never watched a single thing, they would get on the call and be like, yo, what do you guys do again? Yeah, I book a lot of these calls like, oh, you guys do this, right? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what that is. We do this. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I need marketing. Like, yeah, so what do you guys do? And I was one call closing those people at 60%. And we had a 90% cash collected rate because the CEO just didn't want payment plan. So it's not like I was running, we didn't have financing, so zero financing. And we were not running people through scrappy payment plans. Almost everybody was paying in full on the first call 60% of the time.
So like you guys need to understand that there's like different layers to the game, you know? Yeah. Because I feel like what we do, and like who here like gets value from Savage Sales, just drop a yes in the chat if you guys are fucking with Savage Sales. Your sales percentage is increasing. You're like starting to make more money. I want you guys to understand that like I'm pretty fucking good at sales. You know, I get on calls, I close at a pretty high percentage. Austin is the only person that I've met personally that has a sales philosophy that's so closely aligned with me where I'm like, I actually want to learn from this fucking dude. So Austin, what are the attendees going to learn from you in person? Like what sort of sales sauce are you going to be dropping?
Yeah. So I'll break down for you guys how to one call close minimum 60%. Like guys, fitness is the easiest fucking offer on planet Earth to sell. Like you're arguing with people who are underweight. You're arguing with people who are overweight. You're arguing with the lowest version of a fucking human. And it's sell or be sold. And like you're being sold. If your close rate is 30%, 70% of the time, you're being sold by fucking Cheryl and Roger who are 97 pounds overweight. And you're going to lose a sale to that fucking guy or that fucking lady who has zero confidence, who's overweight, has no self-control, has zero people in their life telling them the truth. They're fucking delusional. And they're going to convince you that they can't afford it. You're going to fucking die. You are shaving a decade off of your life if you don't do this. You're telling me we can't close 80, 90, 100% of these fucking people? They're literally talking about their life. They're talking about the standards that they raise their kids to have. They talk about the happiness in their marriage. And we can't close these people with a social media presence and a pre-call video and an email drip sequence and all your testimonials and all your shit. It's sell or be sold. And I can't stand when people who have amazing programs, products, and services get sold by prospects that literally are dying for help, but they're convincing us, well, I just need a day to think about it. Well, I just need to check in with my wife. Motherfucker, you stood on the altar 10 years ago and promised your wife to be the highest version of yourself, and you are 97 pounds overweight, and now you have to go ask mommy for permission to finally be the highest version of yourself and come true on the promise you made 10 years ago? They're delusional. And so what I will do is teach you guys, because that's hype and fun to talk about. I will show you the strategy step by step by step to my sales process that I've taught to over 500 people that's collected over $100 million in cash. I will teach that to you guys and then show you how to customize it for your offer, price point, ideal client, and the most common objections that you get. So you can finally fucking one call close people and collect more money. And I'll also show you how to raise your fucking prices, because all you guys charge Way too little. I had a fitness coach last month, client of mine, do $1.89 fucking million, and he charges $9,800. I have another client, she did $700K last month. She charges $6,000 for 3 months. Most of you guys are charging like $1,900 for 5 months, 6 months. Like, you guys are undercharging, you're over delivering, and we're not closing enough people anyway. If we can raise the price and the close rate, you guys can 8 to 10x your business literally overnight, without needing more leads, without needing to spend more time on calls, without needing to do anything differently than you're doing right now. You just need to charge what you're worth and close more people. And I'll show you how to do that.
I'm excited for this shit. It's not even
Who the fuck's excited to learn? You guys see why I got sold? Okay. You guys see? Exactly. All right. He started talking like that. I'm like, you're my fucking guy, dude.
Yeah.
Right? You're my fucking guy. Like, that's the guy I fucking rock with right there. That's the guy I fuck with. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Guys, drop some fire in the chat for Austin. We're fucking super excited to have Austin in. Austin is also the $1 Million Mastermind sales coach, because I do conversations with B, which ends up being 2.5 hour long coaching calls every week usually. And so I asked Austin, I was like, I don't want to be the sales coach for the MDM, bro. I was like, I need a sales coach. I don't want to be hosting these calls. So Austin absolutely slays it as sales coaching in the MDM. If you are in the MDM and you get value from Austin sales training, just drop a yes in the chat. I got a bunch of my MDM clients in here that come to Austin sales trainings. Yeah, fuck yes. There we go. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to, because I know that a lot of you guys are probably thinking like high close rate, like he's talking 80 to 90% close rate on sales calls. That's fucking insane. Hey, Kara Roberts, are you here? Where's Kara Roberts at? Kara, what's your close rate over the last 60 days?
I've been at 100% close since March. I haven't missed one fucking call.
How many sales calls are we talking? Is this like maybe 2 or 3? Is it 100% close rate over 2 to 3 calls? Like, how many calls are we talking here?
Enough that I've made $160,000 since November. I don't know what the number is.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, long story short. All right, for those of you guys that are saying Austin's talking about closing 80 to 90%, that's crazy. It's not crazy because we have somebody that's doing it. So
yes.
Hell yeah, Kara. That's savage. We love it.
Thank you, sir. We're excited to have you.
Hell yeah.
Austin, I appreciate you, bro. Let's fucking go. All right, and the last guest speaker that I'm going to introduce, a man that doesn't need an introduction, but I'm going to give it to him anyways. He's Australian. He's loud. He talks like this. He says kangaroo, and he just had a $374,000 month. What's up, Jace?
What's going on, guys? What's going on? I feel like I've got to put it on.
Yes, a kangaroo.
Bro. Oh, listen, can I share something, like, just because you're going to have a go at me? I've been doing some research for my speech. Check this shit out. Can I screen share?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
So I went back to Brian's original video that he sold me on. Look at this for a banger.
Trainers, it is a beautiful Saturday morning.
Oh my God.
Morning, let me tell you about it. So first of all,
and that went on for about 40 minutes. It was 2019, Brian. So good.
What the fuck,
So
dude?
good. Yeah. You know, like, I think I'm putting myself, so I'm 44 years old. I just turned 44, and I'm putting myself in the position of maybe a coach that's sitting there at mid-30s, mid-40s, and listening to people that are so fucking polished like Danny and Austin, and sitting there just thinking to myself, like, this is great, but I'll never be that good. I remember when I was sitting there at about 37 years old, I'd been in a corporate sales role for 12 years, I think. And when I heard numbers like I hear, or like we're doing, all I did was say, yeah, but that's all Facebook ads. They've got no profit. Same way that I might say, yeah, but he's on steroids. That doesn't count. I'd brush it off because I didn't want to take accountability for my own life. And then the moment for me was when the girl that I thought I was going to marry cheated on me with another guy, and then had his kid. And all I wanted to do was be a dad. And I never thought it's going to happen. And that's the time that I had to put my big boy pants on. COVID happened, like Danny's story, kicked everyone's fucking ass. And then I'm stuck in Canada with no legal work permit, except for the one for the company that just sacked me, and a pregnant wife. And she said to me, we're going to need to move back to Australia. You're going to need to move back to Australia so we can have some money to eat. And I thought to myself, I went to a selective high school, pretty smart, did a university degree as a dietitian, was the national sales manager of the company that I work for. I didn't envisage having to split by my soon-to-be partner and live on the other side of the world just so I could actually make some money to eat. That's not my life. And at about that moment, I had a chance meeting that introduced me to a guy who said, I know this guy in Kelowna. I didn't know where Kelowna was. And he said, yeah, like kind of knew him from the party scene, bar scene a few years ago. He runs a podcast. You should listen to it. I don't know if knows what he's talking about, but you should listen to it. I know that he does pretty well in this stuff. So I listened to 50 of Brian's podcasts literally within 2 weeks and then signed up. And from that moment, my life has been very fucking different. And what is really, really strange about this is to speak so godly of a guy that's 10 years my junior. That's fucking weird to me. Same as Danny saying he's 27 years old. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? So when we talk about at the event, I want to come with the lifestyle that I've created. And I'm very, very lucky. One of our coaches is on this call, Erin. She's my cousin, my first cousin. My other coach is my sister, who's totally viral on Facebook. My other coach is my best mate from kindergarten. And as a team, we've now got 50 people working for us through VAs and support coaches, but we are tight as fuck and it feels like a family. And I want to talk about, if you want a life that's inspiring, you can't, when your client is sitting there looking at themselves after they've just taken a shit in the morning and then looking at themselves in the mirror, I'll tell you what they're thinking to themselves. I hate you. You fucking suck. They're not paying you for abs. They're paying you for hope. You're their hope. So you can't create this laptop traveling lifestyle, the vision that they want, until you can create the vision that you want. So I'm going to run through how I created that vision through the help of Brian's mastermind program at the time. And we've just hit $2 million for the year so far. I think it's also important, and I don't mean to be a dick, but most of the industries that Danny and Austin, the people that they're talking about, these massive numbers, they're not in fitness coaching. Some of them are, some of them super high ticket stuff. But for fitness coaches, if you're doing 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month, you are an outlier.
Agreed.
You're a fucking outlier. So everyone who's on the call, we should inspire to be like that 100%. But if you can crack 10 grand a month, and there's been plenty of them that have been done in CLA, you are an outlier.
Yeah.
So I want to give you my insight to cracking 10 grand a month so that we can make more of those. And once you've hit 10 grand, then it starts to become this snowball. It's 12 grand, it's 15 grand. You run a challenge, it goes to 25 grand. That's the way to build. But if you don't build it slowly, get the foundations right, and get your vision very, very clear in what you want your life to look like, you're just going to be pushing shit uphill for a pretty fair amount of time. So
the cool thing about Jace is Jace came in very similar to every single person on this call. No social media experience, very little online training experience, very physically fit, knew his stuff, but just didn't know how to get himself out there. But how many of you have ever felt the feeling of frustration because you can't break through? Say yes in the chat if you've ever felt that feeling. If you felt the feeling of frustration because you can't break through. So Jace joined the program the same time that Don Lamb did. Jace was probably, I think it was maybe a few months behind Don Lamb. But when Don Lamb hit $100,000 a month for the first time, and he was the first coach that ever did that, right? He was the first coach that ever hit 100K. Jace stepped up and he's like, I'm going to hit 100. And it was no matter what he did, he couldn't break through. He was stuck at this 35 to 40 range. He was stuck. He couldn't figure it out, couldn't break through. And he just fucking stayed the course. He just stayed consistent. He just put the reps in. He just mastered the craft. And it didn't take Jace a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It took him 6 years. You guys, 6 years. But now on year 6, we're $2 million in the first 6 months of the year. And so we wanted to bring in some of these incredible people that started at your level. Everybody on the call, they started at your level and now they're doing incredible things. And obviously Cole and I aren't even going to talk about me and Cole because we kind of suck.
We're irrelevant. Fuck these motherfuckers. We're bringing them for a reason.
We're bringing them because they're good.
Yeah.
But you guys learn from me and Cole all the time. We want to bring in some really, really high level speakers to drop some inspirational stories of how they got to where they are today. So Jace, is there anything else that you wanted to touch on? I just wanted to say thank you for sharing that, brother.
Of course, yeah. I actually was going to interrupt and say, can I say one more thing? Every year I get to the end of the year when my membership renews for PT Dom in the mastermind at the moment. And I think to myself, I need to find a reason to keep paying Brian. I don't want to leave, but I'm like, I need to find a reason. And the main reason that keeps coming back to me is I just don't want to miss the events. That's actually the biggest thing. I said to Brian, unfortunately, I'm a dad of 2 kids now, so it actually happened. And fuck, man, it's hard to fit everything in. And, people might be like, oh, it's a fucking excuse. You got all the time there. Bullshit. Have 2 kids and see what happens under 5.
Yeah, it's hard.
Right? It's fucking hard, man. Right? So, like all the information's there. And if you're 25, 30 years old and you are able to dedicate to the time to study, great. But you get it full immersion. And Danny was saying about identity. I really do think change takes a long time, but the decision to change can be made in an instant. And we do that weekend. So if you haven't got your ticket, there's a bit of money, particularly if you've got to come from Australia. Particularly, I know my boys back in Australia, girls back in Australia, it's a pretty fucking hefty cost to have to. I was chatting to one of the boys this morning, pretty heavy cost to come across. Don't put yourself in the hole so you can't eat to get there. But if you can make it work and if you've got a credit card, that's where it starts, being in the room.
Beautiful.
I'm also just going to put this out there too. Again, where it starts to be in the room, guys, we're not doing virtual anymore. All right. We're keeping it 100% in the room. Like, we want you guys to feel the presence in the room. And while we loved doing the virtual in the past and while we loved having the live streams in the past, one of the things that I wanted to give everybody who comes to the event is my 100% presence, meaning I'm not focused on a fucking live stream or the production of what happens in the background. If you're in that room, you're going to feel our presence in that room. It's not going to be pushed through a live stream in the past like we have. It's going to be focused on the individuals who choose to come and see us face to face.
So who the fuck is coming? Who's coming? And again, I'm already aware, like, for me, this call was not to convince you to get a ticket to the event. This is not like, this call was to make sure that the people that are coming to the event understand who you guys are actually learning from. Go ahead,
If you're
Dan.
not going to convince them, can I convince them?
Go ahead,
See, Brian and Cole, they won't do it, but I'll just tell you my story. Like, here's what I truly believe. Like, when you, I don't even know what the cost of the ticket is. Like, I truly don't. But it doesn't.
$9.97.
$9.97. That was the same price of the ticket when I was 19 years old. I dropped out of college. I was still popping Percocet, trying to sell cars, got a $200 commission check. They brought me into a room of 30 people and said, hey, you're fired next month if you don't sell 20 cars. And then I went and put $1,000 on a credit card. And it was that decision just to go, fuck it. I don't have the money, but I don't have a choice, because what's the other end? I'm still broke with no skills. Or can I go and receive the skills? Like, look at the other end of where you're at. If you're not where you want to be and you truly believe, there's no sell. If you truly believe that Cole and Brian are the people that you need to learn from, and the people in this room and all of the connections, every single one of you, 175 of you, if you truly believe that it is, you got to figure out a way. Go borrow the money. Listen, money is abundant. It's going to come back. Shit, one of these guys will help you close a deal, like, just to even realize it. But if you look at the other side of not making a decision, like, it truly costs more. The cost of inaction is 10 times more. But I would not be where I'm at today if I didn't make that one decision. It was that domino effect that led everything off. And so I'll just tell you, like, if you're on the fence and in your heart you need to do it, then fucking do it. You'll figure out the rest. And I know that in your heart this event is going to make it happen, because look at all the people and the results in the chat. The proof is in the pudding. And so I love these guys. I learn from these guys all the time. And just a blessing. I'm excited to see you guys. Super pumped. But I'm going to tell you, one decision to change your whole life. And for $1,000, it's a no-brainer to get into a room like this when you have this caliber of people in the room. And by the way, these are all your friends. Like, I'm coming to this community. I was texting Cole on the chat and I said, y'all's community is fire. I've seen a ton of companies, like, this community is fire. I'm like more pumped to connect with all of you guys, because, like, guess what? We're all on the same mission. We're all doing the same thing. Everyone's at just different levels. But we're all in that alignment of, like, just the same mindset. And we were all in the same spot. And so don't view us as any different place. Like, I was in that same spot looking at my credit card for 10 minutes. And then I sent a picture and said, run that bitch. It was the best decision I ever made. I'll end on that.
I love it, bro. Is there anybody else, any other speakers that wanted to say anything before we end off? Doug, do you have a fucking banger speech planned or what? You got to follow Danny now,
I already did. Yeah, no, so Dan, you better follow me back, Danny. No, like, honestly, it's the same
I wasn't
thing,
talking about it on social media, but that's hilarious. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll unfollow him then. I'm just kidding. Yeah, same thing. Like, I guarantee you, if you come to this event, you're going to make way more than $9.97 after you leave. Way more. It's pretty much 1,000% guaranteed. So invest in yourself, invest in your future, invest in your business, and, like, you'll make it back. You'll probably make it back that weekend.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, so it's a no-brainer for me.
I love it. Austin, last but not least.
Dude, I didn't know you were charging $997 for the event, bro. Like, what is wrong with you guys? Like genuinely, like what, like you guys are out of your like the next event, you guys need to charge 5K, like minimum, please, for the love of God. Like 997 is so inexpensive. It's fucking, I can trip and fall and find $997 on the ground. Like the amount of value, what you guys will learn. Like if you took nothing away, it's like, all right, just like raise your price by like $1,000 and then you've made the entire event back in one sale. It's like just close one extra deal that you would have left on the table. It's like, that's insane. That's you guys are good people, because I know damn well you'll make $0 on this event. You'll probably lose money. So you and Cole have big hearts, bigger than me, because I love making money. I would have been banging out 5K tickets all day long, 100%. So good for you guys. I'm very proud of you guys. Yeah. I'm traveling across the fucking world to be there. I don't like traveling. So the fact that I'm getting on 3 flights in a 17-hour travel day shows that I appreciate you guys, and excited to be there for sure.
Excited to see you, dude. It's gonna be fun.
I just gotta say, I love when people talk shit to me when they actually back it up. It's the funniest thing ever. I worked with Devin Jota one-on-one, Austin, and he's like a 19-year-old kid. And every call we get on, he would just say that like my shit sounded like absolutely retarded. And he was so serious and so mad at me. And I just laughed. I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. So guys, Austin, I'm super grateful to have you out, brother. It's going to be an incredible experience. I trust Austin very deeply. His sales shit is legit. If you guys aren't following him already, go follow him, Austin Medlin on Instagram. Beware, you might get sold. Danny Klein, absolute legend. Fucking love you, brother. Super excited to hang out with you in Kelowna. Doug Clark, super excited to hear your story on stage again and for you to give value back to the community. And Jace, the man, the myth, the legend. I'm honored that you, Jace actually approached us and asked us about giving back to the community. So this is going to be, knowing that Jace came to us, I just want you guys to know that it's going to be really, really fucking good. So for those of you guys that are coming to the event, we're super excited to have you. I can't wait to see you there. And if you guys are interested in getting a ticket to the event, I would message Janelle on Facebook or Instagram, and she will take care of you guys if you guys haven't gotten a ticket already. All right. Peace, love, and protein, guys. Thanks for spending the time with us. I hope everyone has the best day of their entire lives. To all my event speakers, can't wait to hang out with you guys and jam out for some time in Kelowna, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Peace, y'all.
Peace. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.